tried. They uh that just the Bulls just didn't have enough. That's what it boils down to. They kept going on little mini runs, seeming like they were going to be able to take over the game. And it really what it just boiled down to is that they just did not have enough. Injuries caught up to them. The Bulls played pretty solid on defense over the course of this game. Again, I wouldn't necessarily say they played great, but they didn't play as bad as what you would think that they would with some of their personnel being out. Just overall, man, this is just an odd game. It's an unfortunate game. Wasted DeMar 40 piece. Vooch played really good defense over the course of this game. Playing that most of that fourth quarter, most of the second half of the fourth quarter with 5 fouls, not fouling out, really affected some things down the stretch as well. But hey, 40 piece from Embiid, 45 piece from DeMar DeRozan. This game, I think, really looks completely different, of course, if the Bulls are fully healthy. They showed some things in this game, some promising things in this game. But with that being said, it just kind of sucks, man. It just kind of sucks. But let's go ahead and go see what we got in here. How are you a sharpshooter that can't shoot? I guess that's to Matt Thomas. Man, I don't know. Who gave Matt Thomas the green light to keep shooting? Injuries. That's what gave Matt Thomas the green light to keep shooting, because without, with the players that we're missing, so it has to come from somewhere. So, it is what it is there. Not even down about this one, just not good enough to beat Philly. That shorthanded, and damn, Embiid gets every damn foul. Yes, for sure. For sure. It's not even surprising that Embiid leads the league in like free throws. It just makes sense. He gets everything. Bulls need a man to make a three. If I see another Bradley Thomas Brown Hill lineup, I might die. Well, you may be seeing that tomorrow, bro. Bro, our bench unit is legit trash. Bradley, Thomas, Brown, and Hill combined for 15 points. Well, keep in mind, those players, of course, Bradley aside, really aren't supposed to be getting a bunch of minutes. So yeah, I mean, none of them are scorers. That's just not what they do. That's not in their arsenal. So that's kind of what happens, man. I was hoping Troy Brown Jr. got those minutes at the end instead of Thomas. I mean, it really wouldn't have been that much different. I feel so bad for DeMar. The entire bench better bury him, buy him a steak dinner they can afford. Oh man, listen, it is what it is. Everybody kind of understands what it is. Like, right? I really do think everyone kind of just understands what this game was going to be. It sucked, but hey. The people in the chat on Bleacher Report are dumbasses. Oh, I don't even go to Bleacher Report. That's the cesspool. Bulls have guys to shoot threes, but they are not playing. Hey, man, it sucks because I hate Embiid. I think he's a drama queen. Did you see Thomas and Io collided? And for some reason, Embiid is on the ground rolling in pain. This isn't soccer. Yeah, Embiid, he definitely is. He's weird. I still think we played well overall. Our role players just didn't hit their open shots. Our roster will improve in a month or so. Agree. And then, hearing Billy Donovan say that they expect Patrick Williams to come back before the end of the season. Improvements are coming, right? That's the thing with this Bulls team, is we kind of know why we're playing as bad as what we are, especially when we don't just have enough people to score the basket. You look at us missing Lonzo, Alex, Levine, and Derrick Jones Jr. Those are all versatile players who score points for us. So yeah, it's gonna happen. You're going to run into, and Kobe. Yeah, I forgot about Kobe, and Kobe being out as well. So yeah, we're missing Kobe hitting those threes. Well, Kobe hadn't been hitting very many threes in the last few games, but I get what you're saying. Hey, man, this game show we can compete with Philly. Vooch did his best he could, but Embiid is just a bucket. Sucks that DeMar's 40 points outings are L's. Yeah, I mean, that's one thing that we've been saying, right? Is that at least I've been saying, when people ask, like, how are you going to – the Bulls showed in this one, and with a depleted defensive roster, that they can compete with Philly. You add Levine, Caruso, and Lonzo, as well as Kobe to this, and you talking about a completely different game. Again, and that's not to say the outcome would change any, but you talk about a completely different game, and the fact that the Bulls just ran into times where they just did not have somebody to score the ball. So those type of things absolutely change when you have people like that. Wish Io would take the shots Thomas took. I mean, that's not Io's role, but I feel you. No words. I'm just saying, don't be, bro. Don't be. Like, honestly, this is not the end of the world, right? Keep in mind, this is not the end of the world. People overreact a lot. $100 in the Bulls game. You are insane. We play the Suns tomorrow. Yep. Yep. I mean, considering the 76ers are fully healthy and we are super injured, 76ers shot 50% from three and we shot 20%. And it felt like everything for the Sixers was a foul. Hey, we're not getting, listen, we know how the refs have been officiating us all season, but you're right. I mean, there's a lot of positive things to take away from this game. As frustrated as I got down the stretch or whatever, that's just because my team was losing. There's a lot of things you can look at and say, okay, this is a blueprint for the team to build off on, and especially with different people. You think if we do get Schroeder, he'd be a better option than Matt Thomas? Yes, but he's not a better option, at least from a scoring standpoint, than Kobe. And that's where the issue. Anybody's a better than Matt Thomas, but I don't know, man. I like the whole Schroeder thing. I have to see the other deal because I just can't see that being the only like a deal within of itself. So it's hard to judge the whole Schroeder possibly coming in thing without knowing what the other deal the Bulls could make it. Well, blah says, I also have a feeling Acme will make a surprise move Thursday that will help. I can hope at least. Listen, I'll be here live, a live stream for the trade deadline. So if it happens, I'll be here. A team of all the players we have out is almost as good as the team. Hey, that's for sure. Do you think the injury that Kobe is dealing with is the reason he hasn't been? Well, I think it happened in a recent game. So we'll see, but it kind of is what it is. Quadruple X, why are you fuming at Levert? Like, what are you mad about, man? What are you mad about? We didn't need him, right? Didn't need Levert. So yeah, I'm not mad. I'm not mad. The Bulls are gonna have to compete with teams around us every day. I'm not mad at that. On the positive side, Io's confidence is growing. Javonte stepping up more, and Vooch is being more consistent. It's a good thing. Absolutely. And I've been saying this. Like, I've been saying this. You guys can go back and look. I've been saying for quite a while that Javonte Green coming off the bench is going to be even more dangerous. Now you're adding this type of scoring from Javonte Green. Just imagine Patrick Williams coming back in the starting lineup, right? And what he brings defensively. To bring players off the bench, and this is when everybody's fully healthy, but Io, Kobe, Javonte, all coming off the bench, adding Derrick Jones Jr. to that. That's a solid rotation right there within of itself. It's small, yes, and we know Billy Donovan doesn't show any fear going small, but that's a solid rotation. Add in if Tyler Cook's playing good, Tony Bradley's being good on different stretches, stuff like that. It really does change a lot of things. I want to see a move, but I think Pat Will, Kobe, and Derrick Jones Jr. are untouchable in my opinion. Well, here's the thing: nobody's untouchable, right? It's all about the road. Well, Patrick Williams is not. This front office is not trading Patrick Williams, so that I agree with. As far as Kobe and Derrick Jones Jr., no, they're not. They're not untradeable. I've been very vocal, and I don't think the Bulls should trade Kobe, and I've given the reasons why, especially with bench scoring. But if the right deal comes across and the Bulls can add in some bench scoring as well on top of whatever they do, we'll see. But Derrick Jones Jr., I definitely want to see Derrick Jones Jr. here for a while too, but we'll see. Brandon, no, we shouldn't. See this, and this is the thing with just getting caught up in box scoring. I'm not necessarily saying that's what you're doing, but Simonovic isn't ready. Period. Simonovic out there will be getting bodied the same way Matt Thomas does on defense, and it may completely kill his confidence. So no, the whole purpose of Marko Simonovic being in the G League is for him to get used to as close to NBA competition as possible and take the year to really fill out his body. Samonovic doesn't do anything for us right now. Nothing. I tell you that right now, especially on the defensive end. Could he possibly have nights where he goes off offensively? Yes. But what he would get, how he would get killed on the defensive end would be so much more than anything he can give us offensively. No, Marko Simonovic does not need to be called up right now at all. Not even remotely. Not even remotely. We were already shorthanded, and we even lost Zach and Kobe for this one. This team played well considering the circumstances. Absolutely. This is one thing that people need to. He played, especially his off the ball defense on Embiid tonight. And I know people are going to look at it, and this is how you guys are going to know. Watch this between the video that I post, this video, and then the video I post in the morning. Watching the comments for people saying Vooch played terrible defense, Embiid got 40 on him, and then just laugh at them because then you know they didn't watch the game. Vooch played great off the ball defense on Embiid today. And then down the stretch to play the defense that he did to still stay in front of his man with playing with 5 fouls in the fourth quarter. No. Yeah, Vooch did a really good job on defense today. Very active on defense. Trend, Haize is just my opinion, but I think we can beat Philly when fully healthy. I know they're 3-0 against us, but I truly believe we can beat them. One thing that bodes well in the Bulls as well, there's not been very go and look at it. Usually when a team sweeps, and I think we play them one more time, but when a team sweeps regular season, it usually doesn't happen that way in the playoffs. It's very difficult to beat a team that many times. So, it is what it is. I definitely do think that the Bulls have enough to compete when fully healthy, for sure. I agree with you there. Zach Lasagna, how long do you expect until he plays in the NBA? Yeah, I think next you look at the even Patrick Williams, who came in with very much an NBA ready body. Look at the difference that he looked. And keep in mind, Patrick Williams was injured in the offseason. How his body looked different from last season to this season. If you look at it historically, players, especially big men, put on quite a bit of muscle having a full offseason, NBA offseason. So yeah, I think Marco's going to get a look. Now, if Marco for some reason is still in the G League next season, that's when it starts causing some concern of what they aren't seeing from him. But I fully do expect Marko Simonovic to be getting, and it may not be a lot. It may be he gets those Troy Brown Jr. minutes. It may be I'm sorry, not Troy Brown Jr., Tony Bradley minutes, where we just see Marco 10 or 12 minutes. It depends, but I definitely expect to see Marco on the roster next year for sure. Leviant. I laugh when they put Alfonso in all here. Listen, I hate Alfonso McKinney with a passion. With a passion. Passion. Miller, what up, hey? 62-20 bound. With the loss today versus the Sixers, each coaching staff will probably be coaching the Eastern All-Star game, but the Bulls will be very well represented. Yeah, and listen, and keep in mind too, I do think some coaches, I think it was, correct me if I'm wrong, I think it was Pop one year, if not, maybe it was Mark D'Antoni, that literally was like, hey, I was planning on having a vacation during All-Star break. Now I have to coach the All-Star game. So like, no, like we as fans make big deals of it, but I don't know if Billy Donovan was maybe was making as big a deal out of it as what we wanted to see him in. Ryan Ruiz says, good game from the Bulls, even with their depleted roster. This will be a good playoff match. Going to be watching the East for sure. Listen, the East is going to be, especially with that trade that the Cavs made, the Eastern Conference playoffs is going to be interesting today. This year for sure. Why do you think the Bulls don't make adjustments and drop coverage on the pick and roll? They do. They just don't make it the right ones sometimes. And it's personnel. I know some people think Pat will be the next Kawhi, but if he becomes closer to Tobias Harris type, listen, this is why I don't do player comparisons. I like, if you guys notice, anytime anybody asks me to do a player comp, I don't do it. I hate it, to be honest with you, because I just feel like it doesn't do players justice to be their own person. I like the next Kawhi thing. I don't like that's such a off chance that he's going to be the next Kawhi. But I definitely think, and this is why this front office views Patrick Williams the way that they do. What he brings defensively, right? And the fact that he makes it so flexible on how you can build the roster around him. Patrick Williams is one of the rare players that really, in almost any type of roster construction, he can be a contributor. And you don't give up players like that, especially when they're only 20 years old on top of that. So, yeah. I don't listen. I've been very consistent in saying I think the Bulls are going to look more towards the buyout market. If there is a trade, it's either going to be something that's completely mind blowing, right? This is what I'm saying. If the Bulls make a trade, it's going to be something completely mind blowing, or it's going to be one of those trades that we look at and say this was just the right trade. Like whether they package Troy Brown Jr.'s contract, maybe the Portland pick, and bring in somebody. Because keep in mind, Troy Brown Jr. $10 million a year. Throw in Matt Thomas's deal or something like that. So if there's somebody who just wants to get out, the Bulls may make it. I don't know who or what. I'm not willing to say that, but the Bulls are going to make a move, whether it's buyout or whether it's a trade. They're going to make some type of move. Definitely. I can't wait till Troy Brown Jr. and Matt Thomas are back to getting DNPs, man. I can't wait. I can't wait. Matt Thomas sucks, bro. Yes, absolutely. Zach Lasagna, a lot better. There no easy pocket for the playoffs. Raptors are 8th. But see, that goes back to why when everyone was worried about seeding, like obsessing over seeding, I really don't. Because at the end of the day, like stuff like this, like the Cavs, right? And keep in mind, maybe the Cavs take a little while to get gelling or whatever. They're right now slated to be the 5th seed. Even if they take a slight slide, something, they're going to be so much better than whatever seeding they are. If that trade really works the way that it should work. Toronto Raptors right now are 6th. With the way everything went today, Brooklyn Nets are 7th. Boston Celtics are 8th. Charlotte's 9th. Atlanta Hawks are 10th. Listen, that whole the East is going to be crazy this year when it comes to the playoffs, because you can easily make a conversation for all teams that are in, including the play-in game, have a chance to make a significant run. First, Miami Heat, we know them. Chicago Bulls, 2nd, we know them. Milwaukee Bucks, 3rd, we already know. Philly, 4th, we know. Cleveland, like I said, if this trade really works and everybody comes together, be on the lookout. Toronto, 6th, Brooklyn, 7th, Boston, 8th, Charlotte, 9th, Hawks, 10th. It's going to be very, very interesting in the Eastern Conference playoffs this year. Very interesting. This is what, Evan, I actually disagree. We need them to get healthy, whatever that takes. I like at this point in time, and I've said this before, and I know not everyone agrees. Even if the Bulls lose tomorrow, even if they get blown out tomorrow, even if they play tough like tonight and just don't have enough, the key thing is you don't want to rush anybody back, because we have our sights set on so much further things than what tomorrow means. A game in February does not mean as much as having everybody healthy by the end of March and April. So no, we don't need them to play tomorrow. We need them to get healthy. Whatever the route to getting them healthy is, that's the most important thing. Even if we lose the next 8 games, it's more important to get them healthy to be ready for the playoffs. I don't think anyone thought we would be where we are, so seeding doesn't matter. We are ahead of that, where we're supposed to be. Listen, the thing is that we know when this team's fully healthy, they've shown they can be top 5 in offense and defense. We need everybody healthy to get back to that. I don't care what our seeding is. I don't care if we come in as the 8th seed. If you're telling me we're getting back to being 5th in offense and 5th in defense, and we just lost some games because of injury and we end up being the 6th, 7th seed, I'll take that, because you tell me we can get back to those rankings and that efficiency. I'm going to take that no matter what our seeding is. That's why I don't worry about seeding as much. Remember, everyone, where we were last year as well. I mean, I'm so happy that we're in the playoff hunt, because last year we were trying to get a play-in spot. Absolutely. Absolutely. Millar Miller should capitalize, go all in to keep youth. Best scenario. Listen, we've programmed ourselves to think that go all in means either or, and it doesn't. Going all in, the Bulls don't the Bulls don't need to trade their young players to go all in just so we can say, oh, we're not resting on potential. No, they don't need that. All the Bulls need to do to quote unquote go all in is to just bring in a solid power forward who guards, right? Who rebounds and who can block shots and who can hit open shots. You add anybody in, that can do those things, it fixes the Bulls' biggest hole. That is the Bulls' biggest hole. So they don't need to. It's not this thing where we have to weigh. It's either going all in or it's waiting on our young players to develop. The Bulls are in the unique situation where they can easily do both, whether it be through a trade or a buyout this season, or wait and use their mid-level exception on the veteran next season. The Bulls are in a very unique place to be able to do both. We have to break out of this mold of common thinking that it has to be one way or other. Yes, for most teams and franchises it is, but for this one, it's not that. It's not that at all. The Bulls healthy is a dangerous squad. Other teams know that for sure. For sure. This is a question I've had too, is why the Bulls aren't playing Tyler. Especially considering that, initially when he came back, he was getting Bradley's minutes. I don't know what's going on. Maybe it is something within, maybe not necessarily injury, right? But maybe he's not 100%. Julie's in the building. Hey, it's not a happy Uber ride home. Hey, I don't blame you, man. I don't blame you. Cavs are really good now with that trade. Well, let's see how they come. Don't forget, there are a lot of times teams make trades that are supposed to get them over a hump that necessarily don't work out. Now, more than likely it will, right? Let me be clear in saying that. But let's see this. Let's see how it works out before we're ready to say that. But I mean, they're already going to be dangerous out anyway. So. The Bulls should attempt to get Chris Boucher. I feel he would fit. Listen, I don't do the whole certain key player, a player thing. Could he? Yes, but it all depends on what it takes. Trade Tony, Matt Thomas, Brown Jr. in Portland first. I don't know if that gets it done. I don't know. Like the Marvin Bagley conundrum is, but even then, Marvin Bagley doesn't get us much closer. Like Marvin Bagley is not the answer for everything the Bulls. And the thing is too, is that I don't think the Bulls go for another young player. If the Bulls are going to make a trade, it's going to be a veteran for who they can bet on being consistent night in and night out to add to a team that's already the 10th youngest team in the league. I don't see them going after a young player like Bagley. That's just my opinion. Again, could be wrong. BK, our sport in the building. Haven't seen you in a while, my brother. I've never seen the fan base complain as much as our Bulls fan base right now, considering they have the best record in the East. Our fans sound like we're 10th. Listen, yes, Bulls fans are very, very, very fickle. Very fickle. So, yes, if I don't do he play tonight? Did he play tonight? Let's see. No. So yes, I believe that with us losing today, it's locked in Spoelstra and his coaching staff coaching the All-Star game. I like how you said the Bulls will either make a big trade or be a trade that doesn't get much attention. Good way to put it. Yeah, there are teams that do that. There are teams that make these trades that people are just like, oh well, yeah, it makes sense as a move. And then when the actual play starts, it really starts changing things. So. Yeah, you've been streaming for 22 minutes already. YouTube ain't me. Listen, I'm telling y'all, YouTube has been slacking on sending out the notifications in my live stream. You can't sneeze while guys shooting without getting the foul call. Yeah, for sure. I agree with you there. Again, don't believe this. Don't believe this. Don't believe the Dennis Schroeder talk. Don't believe that. I believe it's overblown. Don't believe that. And it's funny how now Bulls fans have just because the talk of a deal, Bulls fans have focused as if the Schroeder deal is the key deal that they're making. If they make the Schroeder deal, it's only a precursor to a bigger deal. That's the one that we need to be worried about. Yeah, I'm in and out, man. I usually like to take a bit of a break in the January, beginning of February, ahead of the Australian season starting up. With how hectic I know it'll get in the NBA, run home plus MLB, hopefully. Yeah. Honestly, just get a better center, buy out or trade. Bradley is terrible if you get him off his feet. It's an easy bucket every time. He's a liability on offense. He's a liability in general, for sure. For sure. It's crazy. Alex Lorez, why hasn't Matt Thomas taken off the court? He had a because we had nobody else. Like literally, we had nobody else in this game. You kind of just got to do what you got to do. Schroeder is the new great man. It's so funny how Bulls fans, like casuals, right? They change their focus. Like the one rumor about Grant started at the beginning of the season. Then everybody has convinced themselves Grant is the answer. You remember how people were like convinced Jeremy Grant is the elite defender we need. Jeremy Grant ain't never been an elite defender. Now the Denny Schroeder thing comes out. Now all of a sudden it's this whole thing. Oh, I can't wait till we get Schroeder. Y'all motherfuckers weren't checking for Denny Schroeder before that rumor started. Come on, man. Come on. Listen, Javonte Green's about to get paid. And while I was talking about Kobe and Io and the fact that he's going to be a free agent early in his career because he was a second round pick, Javonte Green has been a player that he's 28 years old. This run that he's been on the Bulls with, he's easily going to get an offer if it's not from us, from another team, of upwards of $10 to $11 million a year. Look at it this way: for any championship team to be able to add a player with Javonte Green's energy, I think I said Jeff earlier, with Javonte Green's energy to come off the bench, that could be the difference between a playoff exit and a playoff win in a tight series for a lot of teams. Javonte is about to get paid. 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 I would love to be Javonte Green's agent right now because all you're thinking, everything, all you're thinking is counting the zeros. Javonte Green's agent is literally sitting back in his office like, I'm so glad I signed this kid. It was probably I don't know who Javonte Green's agent is, but considering he's never been like a big name, I'm guessing Javonte Green probably has like a agent with probably less than 10 players under their wing. They are all about to get paid. All of them about to get paid. How far do you think we can go in the playoffs with a healthy team? All the way. I'm telling you right now, the Bulls can go to the Eastern Conference Finals with a healthy team. That's for sure. I've been saying that Favors was one of the people I mentioned very early on. And Favors is bought out. We gotta see what happens with Paul Millsap as well. The greatest in the building. I know we lost, but it was a treat watching two MVP candidates go off like that. Yeah, it was a fun game. It was stressful because our team didn't win, at least for me, but it was a fun game for sure. Who would you rather trade for right now? Hey, Schroeder, Grant, LeBron James, or Gandhi for sure. Gandhi, because you can't call a foul on Gandhi, right? Like Gandhi literally could come out there and just elbow everybody. Like who's gonna call a technical foul on Gandhi? Who's gonna do it? Who's gonna do it? Denny Schroeder ain't that bright. He betted on himself, turned down 4 minutes. Man, listen. I know he's still kicking. Like, could you imagine if you turned down that contract to bet on yourself and it didn't work out? Could you imagine that? Could you imagine that? That's crazy. Gandhi has never taken an L in his life. It was stressful because we still had some chances to win. Even yes, for sure, for sure. Pepper Levine better play. Nah, he better get healthy. That's what I'm saying. He probably will know in Zach, but he better get healthy. I've noticed Vooch has played good defense against Embiid, Portis, and Giannis. This could be big if we run. Listen, this is what I'm saying. Listen, Vooch is 7th in all centers in defensive rating. If you bring on and the thing is with Vooch, he's good off the ball. It's his one-on-one defense where he falters sometimes. You bring in a power forward that's a better man defender than Vooch, and that still can play in the system of the team defense that we play, that completely changes the outlook on the Bulls. Completely. Would you rather have Zion, Ben Simmons, or Kyrie Irving today? Oh man, Kyrie, because Zion, we don't even know if he's going to be able to get to basketball playing weight. Right? Me and Zion's going to be fatter than me. Ben Simmons, mm-mm. So yeah. Is Zach day to day in terms of his back spasms? It seems like it, but I mean, he's out today because of a groin, right? Or was that Kobe? Was that Kobe who had the groin injury? I don't even remember. We have so many injuries; it's hard to keep track of. It's very simple. We only need health. We are down 6 of our top 10 players, 3 starters missing, and we barely lose versus one of the top teams in the league. 3 starters? What 3 starters are we missing? Zoe and Levine, Caruso, Derrick Jones Jr., Kobe White. Oh, Patrick Williams. Okay. Patrick has just been gone for so long, I sometimes forget him, but you're absolutely right. See, didn't I tell you I was going to be some idiot who came in here with that? Some idiot, right? This is how you can tell when people watch box scores. Not so we were watching the actual games, Annie, not the box score. You should probably try it. I can't even turn my hat around. I almost went petty on him, but I can't even turn my hat around. Just seeing Ben Simmons' names make me sick, and I'm Australian. That's funny. Listen, Patrick Williams would fix a lot for this Bulls team right now. A lot, a very lot. First of all, super chat from Front Green Bay Go Bulls. I appreciate you, my brother. Thank you for supporting the channel. Just get healthy. That's all the boils down to. Just get healthy. Yep. Hey, listen, I told you, didn't I tell you guys it was coming? I told you guys it was coming. I literally called it before. It's always that one dude for sure. For sure. Haize, what type of dog do you have? I have 2. I have one who's a Husky German Shepherd mix. The other is an Australian Shepherd and Lab mix. That's the one that you usually see as blacktail in the background sometimes because he just can't stay away. So no, he's never been out for this long. Right, Pat? He's had injuries, right? He missed some time in his rookie season. Then he was injured at the beginning of this season, missed some preseason games. But no, I mean, this is only his second year. So no, this is his first time being out this long. Warriors best team in the league. Bro, I make hella positive comments. You skip, but listen, first of all, I don't read every comment. I don't see it. I get a response. I watched the game. Also, Vooch was getting cooked. No, then you didn't watch the game, or you watched the game like a casual woman watches the game and doesn't really pay attention to it. It's one of the two. So I felt bad for Vooch this game. He seemed so frustrated trying to guard and beat his fucking work. Jesus, like, oh yeah, I mean, but and especially he did a solid job off the ball. And B was just hitting some shots. Like there are times where Vooch did just about everything you can do except elbow the motherfucker, and Embiid was just hitting shots. But Embiid is just that's the player that Embiid is. That's the player that he is. Do you think Derrick Jones Jr. can come back soon? In the original report, it says 6 to 8 weeks with the possibility of an early return with a finger splint. I mean, you got to think, how long has he been gone now, right? It's been at least 3 weeks, right? So we have to be coming towards the middle of that 6 to 8 week time period, unless I'm just off on the time. Like it's been so many 6 to 8s that I forget who went out first. So yeah. There's no way Io would get traded. Acme no. Oh, wait, who said anything about Io getting traded? Who said something? Did I miss that? Because yeah, that's not happening. Awesome. This is a good question. Do you think we'll offer? I mean, probably, right? Probably. If he qualifies for the Supermax, probably. Donovan is not the problem. The Bulls are playing with end of the bench rotations, bro. What else? Exactly. You're playing with players that literally are usually only going to get minutes in the chances of garbage time. So I like Vooch going after Embiid. Yes, he was going to lose the battle, but at least he didn't give up. He still played well for sure. And he made Embiid have to guard him, right? That's one thing that he didn't do the first two times we played. Embiid didn't really have to guard him tough because that was when Vooch was almost at his lowest. Kobe can't get around any screens. I don't agree with that. Wait, hold up. How long until Zoe, Caruso, and other 6'8" weeks come back has been so so when the I know for a fact, and the only reason I know the Lonzo thing is because I went and looked at the calendar. So if Lonzo is out the full 8 weeks, he will not be back, I think, until like the week of like March 10th. So, and then Alex went down after him. So they're around that, well, a couple of days. So they're around the same time. I think Derrick Jones Jr. was the first, right? I really can't remember. But I know we're not expecting, we're about a month away from getting Lonzo back if it's the full 8 weeks. So everybody else is around that time too. I like Mike Thomas, like him so much that he can have an honorable position of knocking Grayson Allen the fuck out when we play him. He'll be suspended for a while too, which is a win-win. Wasn't malicious and checked on Patrick. He's forgiven. He legit tried to block the dunk. Yeah, for sure. I mean, I didn't see Kobe get around the screen today, but then again, I didn't see him even play. So hey, yeah. Hey, first of all, you and your feelings, but secondly, you ain't gonna cook like you've seen it, so you know you're not gonna cook me, and you acting like even this response, you acting like a woman, bro. You on your menopause? You mad? You need a hug? Go punch a wall. Like I don't know what to tell you, Zanny, but yeah, you didn't because you on some dumb shit. Like what you're saying is based on box score, not actually watching. I'm sorry, I don't care if you watched. If the game was on while you were in the room, then you need to do a better job of paying attention to basketball and learning how to analyze it. That's all I can say to you. But if you're in your feelings about me getting on your ass, you knew what you were coming to when you came to the channel, bro. If you've seen Petty Roosevelt, you know there's a chance for Petty at any point in time. So you can see me if you got a problem with it. My brother, we got to get you in the city. Eddie Curry looks at this podcast and a few others. You're popular in the Shy fam. What? Wait, you got to be just talking crazy, man. Honestly, it doesn't seem that long until they come back because we've been dealing with it for so long. Yeah, Derrick was first. So yeah, so if you're looking at the full 6 to 8 weeks, if Derrick Jones Jr. was first, you got to think we're probably about 2 or 3 weeks from Derrick Jones Jr. return. So probably maybe after the All-Star break, especially, and that may be why we're not hearing a lot of updates. What the Bulls may be doing is like, hey, let's wait, let's get to the All-Star break. After the All-Star break, we'll start working people back in. We could see Derrick Jones Jr. come back. We could see Patrick Williams come back. Like I said, Alex and Lonzo are really the ones that are going to be the last two for sure. We may not get them until we have about 10 games left in the season. What I've heard about like Alex's injuries, that it could be even longer. It could be even longer. So we'll see. Haize, let me tell you, I watched this game with the Sixers fan, and all he was saying is how can the Sixers not blow out the Bulls when the Bulls are missing so many. I bet, right? I really do bet that for sure. For sure. Brandon L. Jett is in the building. I think Zanny blocked me. I love this channel. Hey, man, listen, this is what we do. This is what we do. This is what we do. Sandy Fresh is speaking a whole different language. He's spitting random words in his sentences. Don't let petty get to you, homie. Listen, you can tell because like he was stuttering and he typed his stutters, and when he was writing his response, that's how you know when you get under people's skin. So, wow, really? Not talking crazy at all. Eddie is my. Oh wow, bro. Well, shit. Tell him I said what's up. Hopefully, Jesus, I've said some crazy shit about him on this podcast. Wow. Well, he about to get petty with his comments. Cap, this is the answer. Like, listen, Cap, one thing about they literally can get anywhere anytime. Like anywhere anytime. Period. This was actually custom made. This was custom made. So like so it's basically the same colors as the logo. It's a little bit off, but yeah, I appreciate that. I love this. Lonzo 6 to 8 weeks started January 28th, so Lonzo should be back March 11th to 25th, which I think I said March 10th, so I wasn't too far off. AC should be reevaluated March 18th to 22nd. Derrick Jones Jr. should be back around a similar time period as well, mid to late March. I didn't think I was too far off with it. My wife been asking me, "Are you going to watch the game and then watch the recap with that one guy?" Oh man, that player that scares me on Brooklyn is Aldridge. KD, listen, I can see where you're coming from with that, right? Definitely with Aldridge. I'm just gonna leave that there. 7-game series, Bulls can beat Sixers healthy. Yes, they can. Yes, they can. Oh my Jesus. Off topic, Brandon Ingram should replace Draymond Green. His team's not winning, but he's back to the level he was in 2020 when he was. Listen, you guys know how I feel about Ingram. You guys already know. I love Brandon Ingram. So listen here, BOA. You gonna be nice, fully. I'm not playing you, Jive Turkey. Javonte Green reminds me of Ronnie Brewer. Same energy there. Ooh, the thing I think Javonte Green is more skilled and he's a more impactful. Like Ronnie Brewer was good, especially like Ronnie Brewer had some times, especially in transition, forcing turnovers. But Javonte Green is a way better shooter than Ronnie Brewer was. But I like where you're going with that. You're the voice of the city right now, fam. All love. He heard worse. Wow, that's crazy, man. Listen, y'all getting me. I'm not gonna hype myself up, man. I'm not gonna hype myself up. Shout out to your dogs, LOL. I have a Husky Malamute and also an Australian Shepherd mix we just adopted as well. Listen, you having John Phillips at Bull Central Pod. I need to see a picture of your Husky because I bet that is a beautiful dog. So I'm really partial to Akitas. I love Akitas. That's my favorite breed of dog. But Malamutes are just gorgeous. So yeah, it doesn't surprise me. This is what we gonna do just because we ain't got time for salty people. We don't have time for salty people. All right. Listen, his baseline cut was beautiful. Was a thing of beauty. Absolutely. Absolutely. And then once like Derrick and the other players started realizing where he likes the ball on the baseline, it was crazy. It was crazy, man. Will Derrick Jones Jr., AC, and Pat come back mid-March? I'm honestly, I've been saying, don't be surprised if Patrick Williams is back a week after the All-Star break. Just don't be surprised with that. Derrick Jones Jr., I wouldn't be surprised if he's back and he could play with the splint. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we can get those two back pretty soon. Listen, I literally have stopped watching. I just like I stopped. I had to stop. I had to complete. So like when I was going on when I had my little stretch where I would literally ether him every other day, I had to stop it. Like I just had to stop. Like I do feel his disrespect for the way he covers the team, but I just had to stop. I had to let it go. Haize, do you think Caruso gets reevaluated in March? That he may come back shortly after? Listen, so like I said before, I've broken my wrist. There are a lot of small bones in the wrist. So it could be that he's back, he's ready to go. Brace on, whatever, he's ready to go. It could be that he's reevaluated and they say, hey, some of those tiny bones in the wrist aren't quite healed. We don't feel comfortable with you coming back. Could really be that. But with the rise of Io, if Lonzo comes back, I think we can listen. You're always going to miss a defender of Caruso, but having Lonzo back, bringing Io off the bench, and the chemistry that him and Kobe have worked together, I think we'll be okay. I think we'll be okay. Oh, I do not watch. I did not watch with Philly commentary. Josh Jones. I did not. I didn't even want to open myself to that. Wow. Inside the Chicago Bulls is about as trustworthy as a meth addict. I completely agree with you. I completely agree. Daryl Murray, Patrick Williams comes back in 2 weeks. Hey, listen, I'm not mad. Was at the game, good effort down. So many guys for sure, for sure. Inside Chicago Bulls isn't a content creator. He's an April O'Neil news reporter. He's the TMZ of Chicago Bulls basketball. Period. Yours and Bulls Central the best. Oh, by the way, I have an update on that. There may be a collab coming. There may be a collab coming. There may be. I've been saying for the longest, I doubt he even knows I exist. There may be a collab coming. And if it does, I'm not going to tell you. I'm just going to drop it. Man, the Bulls have an injured lineup that could beat a decent amount of NBA teams right now. A healthy Bulls squad is scary for sure. Absolutely, brother. Chicago Bulls Central, both great. Throwing Locked On Bulls, throwing the Bulls show by my boy Aiden. I know the Bulls show doesn't have the highest level of production quality, but he loves the team, right? And that's what, as a fan of the team, before I was a Bulls content creator, like I was always gravitated towards people who you can tell love the team. And Aiden loves the Chicago Bulls. Of course, Windy City Breeze. Yeah, those are my favorite right now. I think I said Locked On Bulls, right? If I didn't, make sure I say Locked On Bulls as well. You sure Ether, Nick Friedel, host shut up. That was so listen, I honestly don't even remember tweeting that. I think I was like tired. I think I was literally laying on the couch and I saw his tweet and I was like, oh, shut up. And I tweeted it out. I didn't even remember until I woke up the next day. Yes, I do have an IG. The IG is at, oh, hold on. Let me put it up here. I think I have a graphic for it. I'm still working on using my graphics better. So no, I don't have a graphic for it. Hold on. I can create one real quick though. This is so cool. All right, look, watch what I can do now. Wait, where to go? Bam. That's the social media. Every social media I have for it is at Bull Central Pod. So there we go. I get excited about stuff like this. I've never really been, as much as I've been in podcasts, I've never really been a streamer before now. So it's so funny when people get and they feel Quan never came back. What was the other Grant? He like changed his name. Dude's literally still commenting on like a video from like 2 weeks ago where I ethered him. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. Oh, I remember that Friedel shit. Yeah. Man, I love to see you, Aiden Bulls. Hey, I've been trying to get Aiden on, but Aiden was the first one that I reached out to, and he said he didn't understand how to do a collab. I think because he does everything from his phone. But yeah, I would love to have Aiden on. Absolutely love to have Aiden on. A lot of people say Bulls will have size issues in the playoffs, like Giannis and Embiid. One person can beat you, limit the. Yeah, I've been saying that for a while. Sweaty Bloke, you were really echoing exactly where I said, for sure. I forgot all about No Neck. I don't even know where he went to. Ray Guns. No, you can't have beef with somebody who's below you, right? But no, so I just called him out for his lack of original content and the fact that he's not a content creator. He's a content commentator, and most of the shit that he does is made up. And he likes to report on the Bulls like, hey, Bulls fans, so the Bulls are reportedly trading for Jeremy Grant. Like that bullshit. I make fun of him, so that's it. Edwin, we'll see. We will see. I do think if the Denny Schroeder trade happens, then yes, the writing's on the wall with that. I completely agree with you. Bucks ain't nothing, nor are the Nets below you, Diet Betty. All right, fam. I'm gonna go ahead and tune it in today. I'm about to go to dinner. I appreciate you guys so much for sticking in with me today. Great turnout on the stream. I think this is one of the biggest that we've had on a Bulls loss. Usually, we only have over 100 people in the chat when the Bulls win. So, but yeah, that's it. We're gonna go ahead. Let's get into these last couple of ones. Appreciate your Max Power. Just a big hectic with everything at the moment for live games, but we'll be back tomorrow. Absolutely for BKR Sports. That's the guy you guys need to watch. That is a code line. You can't beef with someone below you. In wrestling, that's called burying someone. Oh, I already know. Nobody's going to get over on me. That's for damn sure. Yeah, and I don't take a dive for nobody either. So I low-key would be pissed if we trade for Jeremy Grant. For me too. But that's it, y'all. I will see you guys tomorrow on my pre-recorded video. Make sure you're following the podcast at Bull Central Pod. You can send us any feedback, questions, comments, concerns, bullcentralpod@gmail.com. And lastly, if you want to leave us a text or a voicemail, you can do so at 773-270-2799. Like I like to end everything on. Go Bulls. Love you guys. Peace.